Thanks to Ryan Mason, certainly saying all the right things. He's a very well-spoken individual, but do you have an expectation he could still be the man in charge next season, Robbo? And if not, if he's not going to follow in the footsteps of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Manchester United, who himself started off as an interim manager, who do you reckon could take over the hot seat? Because there's a lot of names being bandied around. Julian Nagelsmann is one. Brendan Rodgers is another one. Maurizio Sarri, Jurgen Klinsmann. I'd probably list out about 4 or 5 more, but we'll be here all night if we were to go through each and every single one. So who do you think is the favourite? Or who would you like to see in the hot seat at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium when the season resumes in August?
And any of those names would be a perfect fit. That's what they need. They need that quality of manager. No disrespect to Ryan Mason, he's 29 years old. He's doing a fantastic job with the under-23s at Spurs, and he's been given a job and an opportunity which is incredible. I mean, I don't for 1 minute think that he might not be the Spurs manager further down the line, but he's not what they need now. I think if he'd have won the trophy today and gone on and got Spurs into Europe, I think there would have been a lot of call for him to be the manager. But I think Daniel Levy would have had to be strong and really not got carried away and decided that it needs a top-class, proven manager to manage these players. They've got a 23, 24-man squad of world-class stars. And we've seen that the hardest part, or one of the hardest parts of today's game, is man management, squad rotation, keeping players happy, and how you deal with players on a daily basis. And I think somebody like Nagelsmann would be ideal for that. You see the way that Tuchel's come in at Chelsea, you see the effect that he's had, a young, bright manager with experience at the top level. And I think somebody like that would be ideal for Spurs. But whoever comes in, they're going to have to get the players on side. The players that have fallen out with Jose, they've now got a fresh start. It's a clean start for all the players. I don't think Spurs have got a problem in the final 2/3 of the field. You look at the quality they've got. They've got one issue, whether Gareth Bale stays or not. Well, that will be up to the new manager. I have no doubt about that. And the problem that the new manager is going to have, he needs to sign 2 centre-halves and he needs a right-back. I don't know what's happened to Doherty this season. He's been in and out of the side. He's played poorly. He's been inconsistent and he's been left out again. Sergio Aurier, there's far too many mistakes coming down that side. And defensively, Spurs aren't good enough. In the final 2/3 of the field lies their strength.
Gary, where do you think the future of Tottenham lies? Which manager? Because we could say Nagelsmann, but he's heavily linked to Bayern Munich. And Hansi Flick has said he wants to lead the club, although Bayern seem to be fighting that. Brendan Rodgers has said, no, my future is here with Leicester. But we've heard managers say things in the past, and then the future paints a very different story. Who do you think will be in charge?
Well, in order to stay consistent, middle of this week, somebody asked me the same question on a radio station in England, and I suggested Nagelsmann. The reason behind that is because he is that ilk of new, young, bright coach, inventive, creative. And I also mentioned, as Robbo just has as well, the fact that Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea has turned heads. There's no two ways about that. And football does follow trends. Football is led by people who do well. They've got this category of person and he's doing well. That's the category of person we need to employ. A side that doesn't rotate very much is doing well in the league. Other teams tend to not rotate so much. So I think that is the direction that Spurs will go in. No disrespect to Ryan Mason. You mentioned a moment ago about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, taking the job on a caretaker basis and then becoming the full-time head coach at Manchester United. Solskjaer had a huge amount of managerial experience before he found himself in that position at Molde, at Cardiff, and then back at Molde in Norway again. Ryan Mason's been out of the game as a player for about 3 years. He's been involved in some coaching within the academy structure at Spurs and the under-23s. He's absolutely not ready to be a full-time head coach at a Premier League side. Simple as that.
Yeah, you kind of echo what Jorginho said about Frank Lampard as Chelsea manager in an interview earlier this week, saying that Lampard wasn't ready either, that it just came a little bit too soon for him. And he's had more experience than Ryan Mason has had.